I think I've been lifting for about 10 years. I got a Groupon and came to Santa Cruz Strength and had never power lifted before. And so I walked into the gym and the previous owner was sitting in the lobby and I said, I have this Groupon. And he said, have you lifted before? And I said, no. He said, come back in an hour and I'll coach you. And I said, okay. So I went to Costco for an hour, it's across the street, and then came and did a session with him and loved it and have been lifting ever since. I think I started competing maybe a year and a half to 2 years after I started lifting. I think I went to Worlds within my first year, which was pretty amazing. And yeah, I've been competing since then. I honestly don't really keep track, but I think I've been to Worlds 3 or 4 times, and some nationals and some local meets. And I have a love-hate relationship with competing because I like the sport and I like challenging myself, but I hate being in front of people, and so it's like terrifying. But I think, yeah, it's good to do things that scare you. Persistence and patience in this sport outweighs everything, because it will take, like, it just took me 2 years. This is such a crazy day to have an interview. So I just re-hit a PR that I'd hit like 2 years ago and hadn't been able to replicate at all in between because I had to like work on some technical things. And so you really have to be fully committed, and like it's so about like that day-to-day training and consistency and putting in the work, and like the payoff is just like delayed. It's not about instant gratification. And so I think that really calls to me as a person, because that's like my work ethic. I didn't think I'd ever own a gym. I have a full-time job as a clinical director for a treatment center outside of the gym. But the previous owner, who had been my coach at the time, had to unexpectedly move to Texas, and there was no one really to take over the gym. And I loved it here and didn't want to see it go away. And so I figured out how to buy it, and I bought it about 5 years ago and have just been kind of figuring things out as I go along. I feel like what keeps people coming to a space like this is like feeling connected and feeling like someone cares about them and their fitness and that sort of thing. And so I just do a lot of wandering around talking to people, and like I genuinely am interested, so that helps. Part of our culture is to like ask someone for help, or like don't be worried to do that, introduce yourself to new members. And that happens because I interview, or I guess meet and greet, every new member who signs up for the gym. So people aren't allowed to just come in and sign up. The other really big piece I feel like that's very different than other gyms is there are no employees here. It's me and then trainers who are independent contractors, and then all the rest of the time it's volunteer led. So it's people from the community who want to donate their time to keeping the gym the way it is. And so I feel like that's the other biggest piece, is that those volunteers have, like, this is their heart and soul, and they give back. And so they don't want anyone in the space that's going to negatively detract or put negative energy into the space. And so I feel like those components really make it what it is. Powerlifting as a sport is just so interesting because it's such an individual sport. Like, you compete individually, but the community is like insane. Like, anytime someone's doing a lift that's challenging or they're struggling, like everyone in the gym like organically is like, go, like you can do it, or is like there to support. And so that really worked for me. I like the independent nature of it. I like to train on my own, but I like to know there's people around who are interested. I think I'm trying to help people understand that you can be a competitive athlete and really good at your sport and really strong, and you don't have to have, I guess it's that you can still be humble.